La Migra, Al Hijra, ICE raid, get in their way. Ask them for their credentials. Pretend like you don't believe those are real. Ask if they're ICE. You don't have to let them into your home. They're not the police. You don't have to let them into your home. We have a duty to protect these people. I just hope you know, all of you motherfuckers who voted for that man, I hope you're seeing now what you actually voted for. I hope you're horrified. I hope your choice haunts you for the rest of your life. I hope you never know a moment of peace. Let's look out for each other.
Whoa, lady. Calm the F down real quick. You're getting a little hostile there. We all know what we voted for. And we're watching what we voted for be put in action. We see it, and we like it. I don't know why this is flying above these people's heads. I don't know what part they don't get. But if you look online, you'll see countless videos like this. I hope you're happy. I hope you're happy. I hope you know what you did. I hope you know what you voted for. You know, like, do you regret it now? It's like, no, this is what we voted for. This was no secret. This was like the main issue that Trump was running on. This was one of the main issues that people from both political parties kind of agreed on. And when I say people from both political parties, I don't necessarily mean the actual politicians. I mean real human beings on the street. You see, a lot of the areas that are affected the most by illegal immigration are these big cities, these blue areas where people tend to vote Democrat. And even those people are fed up. Go ask the people in Chicago and New York City if they're fed up. A lot of them are. A lot of them are. So when I see people like this, I hope you see what you voted for. Yeah, we see it. This, like I said, this was never a big secret. Donald Trump did a freaking rally like 3 times a day, every freaking day for years, talking about this stuff nonstop. Yet these people act as if we're supposed to be surprised that what we actually voted for, the promises that he made, are actually being put into action. I don't get it. But the funniest part about that clip for me was when she got silent for a moment. Because you see, her brain doesn't even operate or function on a level where she could sit down in front of a camera and talk in the way that I'm talking to you all right now. So after saying a couple of things that hardly even make sense, she had to quiet down for a minute and then just immediately go into a fitting, screeching rage. Because that's all these people can do. There's no logic behind what they believe and what they say, which is why they can't sit down and properly, express their feelings and tell you their positions on these matters. They'll talk for a few minutes or for a few seconds, and it may sound good at first, but it will always end up right here where we got at the end of the clip, with them yelling and screaming, trying to get their way, because, common sense is not on their side. And when common sense is not on your side, it's really hard to argue and make your points. So the only thing they can do, the only thing they know to do, is just scream and hope that, people will give in to their demands. But the day and age of giving in to these psychos' demands is over. It's over. And all of this outrage, it's performative. Where was this passion? Where was this anger? Every single day over the last 4 years, when a new news story would break every single day about how an illegal immigrant was harming some young woman or some young kid or this, that, and the third. Where was this outrage when an illegal immigrant just set a woman on fire on the subway not that long ago? Where was this outrage when an illegal immigrant, I can't even get into the story, but there's a story out there where a woman had some type of medical emergency, passed out on a park bench, and an illegal immigrant came up and he stuck his thing in her mouth, okay? You know what his thing is. And basically proceeded to have his way with her mouth until she died on a park bench. These are all stories that are happening that you're not going to hear much about because, our media and even the medias abroad, they try to paint these illegal immigrants in the most beautiful way possible. They don't want you to understand the true threats that a lot of these people pose. Now, I say this all the time, this should go without saying. Of course, not every single illegal immigrant is a horrible person or a violent person, but unfortunately, we do have a lot of violent people over here illegally that we got to get rid of. And if we had more common sense laws and restrictions in place, we wouldn't have to be where we're at right now. But you allowed things to go absolutely crazy. So now, there has to be some course correction. If there was common sense in this country, we wouldn't have to be where we're at right now. If they weren't arresting illegal immigrants, which that's a crime already. Coming into a country and living here illegally, that's a crime. But if they weren't arresting these already illegal immigrants for violent and sexual crimes pretty often and then releasing them right back on the street illegally to harm other people, we wouldn't be where we're at right now. We got here because all of these problems went unchecked. And as these problems went unchecked, they got even worse. But unfortunately, women and just people in general, like you saw at the beginning of this video, they don't care about those issues because the lives of innocent women and children and men in this country, the lives of U.S. citizens, don't matter to them as much as the lives of illegal criminals who are here doing horrible things to American citizens. It's a really ass-backwards way of thinking, but unfortunately in 2025, we are surrounded by a bunch of people who operate ass-backwards. And right now they're building a new facility in Guantanamo Bay to house some of the most dangerous of these illegal immigrants that we're rounding up. But if you ask me, I totally disagree with that. I totally disagree with rounding these people up and putting them in some sort of, prison or whatever on Guantanamo Bay. Personally, I think we should round up the most violent of these people and directly send them to these people's homes. Like the woman that you saw at the beginning of this video, the 10 most dangerous people that ICE rounds up today, they don't need to send to Guantanamo Bay. They don't need to ship back to freaking Haiti or Venezuela or wherever the hell they came from. Send them to this lady's front door and allow them to stay with her for a while. And then we'll see how she feels about the whole situation. That's what I think should be done. Because if you want to go out here and scream and rage out about these people being sent back to where they came from, then allow these people to stay with you. Because what's happening is these people are staying around, and this should go without explanation. But what's happening is people who didn't volunteer for this, right? Let's say this woman, a single mother, raising 2 kids, works hard, gets home late, lives in a kind of dangerous neighborhood. She did not volunteer for someone who's convicted of R-wording little kids in Venezuela. She didn't volunteer for that person to move next door. She didn't volunteer for a gang of violent criminals from Haiti who were literally over there eating human flesh. She didn't volunteer for those people to all of a sudden start congregating on the corner of her street, right? There's Americans, everyday Americans that work hard that did not volunteer to have these criminals shipped and dropped off in their communities. So the way I look at it, women, like at the beginning of this video, you're volunteering for that. So let's take them out of the communities where people don't want them and let's flood them right into the homes of these people. I mean, and then and only then will these people, they'll start seeing things our way. Just like when they shipped a bunch of illegal immigrants to Martha's Vineyard and they had to ship them out the same day, maybe they'll start seeing things the way we see things, right? But for now, let me know your thoughts about this down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all very soon in the next one.